Hello. So today I'm reading from Meister Eckhart's Talks of Instruction, and we're on detachment and possessing God. I was once asked, some people like to withdraw from company and prefer always to be alone. That is where they find peace, when they enter a church. Is this the best thing? My answer was no, and this is the reason why. That person who is in the right state of mind is so, regardless of where they are and who they're with, while those who are in the wrong state of mind will find this to be the case wherever they are and whoever they are with. Those who are rightly disposed truly have God with them, and whoever truly possesses God in the right way possesses him in all places, on the street, in any company, as well as in a church or a remote place, or in their cell. No one can obstruct such a person, if only they possess God in the right way and possess him alone. Why is this so? This is the case because they possess God alone, intend God alone, and all things become God for them. Such a person bears God with them in all that they do and wherever they go, and it is God who acts through them. For a deed belongs more truly to whoever is its cause than to whoever carries it out. And so, if we truly intend God alone, then he must be the one who acts in what we do. And nothing, neither the crowd nor any place, can stand in his way. No one can obstruct this person, for they intend and seek nothing but God, and take their pleasure only in him, who is united with them in all their aims. And so, just as no multiplicity can divide God, in the same way nothing can scatter this person or divide them, for they are one in the one, in whom all multiplicity is one, and is non-multiplicity. We should grasp God in all things, and should train ourselves to keep God always present in our mind, in our striving, and in our love. Take note of how you are inwardly turned to God when in church or in your cell, and maintain this same attitude of mind, preserving it when you go among the crowd, into restlessness and diversity. And as I've often said, when we speak of sameness, we do not mean that we should regard all works as being the same, or all places and people. That would be wrong. For it's better to pray than to spin, and the church is a worthier place than the street. But you should maintain the same attitude of mind in whatever you do, the same trust and love for your God, and the same seriousness of intent. Truly, if your attitude were always the same, then no one could prevent you from enjoying the presence of God. But whoever does not truly have God within themselves, but must constantly receive him in one external thing after another, seeking God in diverse ways, whether by particular works, people, or places, such a person does not possess God. The least thing can impede them, for they do not have God, and they do not seek, love, and intend him alone. It's not only bad company, but also good company that can obstruct them. Not only the street, but also the church. Not only evil words and deeds, but also good words and deeds, for the obstruction lies within themselves. Since in them God has not become all things. If this were the case, they would be at peace in all places and with all people, for they would possess God, and then no one would be able to take him away from them, or impede them in their work. But where is this true possession of God, whereby we really possess him to be found? This real possession of God is to be found in the heart, in an inner motion of the spirit towards him and striving for him, and not just in thinking about him always and in the same way, for that would be beyond the capacity of our nature, and would be very difficult to achieve, and would not even be the best thing to do. We should not content ourselves with the God of thoughts, For when the thoughts come to an end, so shall God. Rather, we should have a living God who is beyond the thoughts of all people and all creatures. That kind of God will not leave us unless we ourselves choose to turn away from him. Whoever possesses God in their being has him in a divine manner, and he shines out to them in all things. For them, all things taste of God, and in all things it is God's image that they see. God is always radiant in them. They are inwardly detached from the world and are informed by the loving presence of their God. It is the same as when someone has a great thirst, and although they may be doing something other than drinking, and their minds may be turned to other things, the thought of a drink will not leave them for as long as they thirst, whatever they do, whoever they are with, and whatever they strive for, whatever their works or thoughts. And the greater the thirst, the greater, the more intense, immediate, and persistent the thought of a drink becomes. Or if someone loves something passionately with all their might, so that nothing else pleases them or touches their heart, and they desire that alone and nothing else, then certainly, whoever it may be, or whoever they may be with, whatever they are doing or setting out to do, the object of their love will never be extinguished in them, but they will find its image in all things, and the greater their love becomes, the more present to them it will be. Such a person does not seek peace, for it is already theirs. This person is far more praiseworthy in God's eyes, because they grasp all things in a divine way, and make of them something more than they are in themselves. Truly, this demands hard work and a great dedication, and a clear perception of our inner life, and an alert, true, thoughtful and authentic knowledge of what the mind is turned towards in the midst of people and things. This cannot be learned by taking flight, that is, by fleeing from things and physically withdrawing to a place of solitude, but rather we must learn to maintain an inner solitude, regardless of where we are or who we're with. We must learn to break through things and to grasp God in them, allowing him to take form in us, powerfully and essentially. It is the same as when someone wants to learn to write. If they wish to acquire this skill, then they must practice hard and often, however difficult it may seem, even to the point of impossibility. If they do that, they will master the art of writing, although of course they will at first have to concentrate on every letter and commit it to memory. But then, when they have acquired this skill, and they will no longer have any need for the image or the concentration, but will write freely and spontaneously. The same is true of learning to play the violin or anything else which is based on the acquisition of a skill. All that is necessary is that someone should desire to perform their art, and then, whether they are concentrating upon it or not, they are able to perform on the basis of the skill which they've acquired. Thus we should be permeated with the sense of a divine presence and be informed with the form of our beloved God, and be so established in him that we see his presence effortlessly, and more than this, remain unencumbered by anything, free of all things. But this will initially demand of us much application and concentration, as any art does of one who will learn it.